The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. As always, at this time, we kind of go into the breach, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And what do we have going on? We're off 7.5 points, waiting for the president to show up. If you're unfamiliar with presidential etiquette these days, starting, I think, in the first or second year of the Obama presidency, the Secret Service started having the presidents, not show up at a specific time. They thought it was far too easy to locate when the president was going to be somewhere. People driving around the White House and the Capitol, other things like that. You know, if they knew it was just at 2 o'clock, that they could do something. So you'll even see that now in the press events that they have when they bring them into the cabinet. It'll say, you know, like moments ago. And what moments ago means is after they got the video, they were shoved into a room by the Secret Service, made to wait for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then they were allowed to go out and put their video on TV. They don't want everybody knowing exactly where everybody is at 1 second. I don't know if it's because of the Russians, who apparently are now responsible for literally everything, or a rogue nut whack job. But, you know, they don't want everybody knowing exactly when everybody's there and when everything's starting. And it's been one of those things. If you've noticed, nothing ever starts on time. And, you know, occasionally you'll get something where there's all-out security, like the State of the Union address or something like that, when they'll do something. But it's good. You got a good plus or minus 15 minutes anymore. And most of that I read, it had to be in like 2010, because I thought I was going nuts when no one would do anything on time anymore. And kind of the Secret Service in there going, you know what? I don't think you want to be telling anybody where you're standing at a specific second in time, unless someone plant a bomb or plan anything else. So anyway, we'll be watching what's going on. I don't think he's even come out yet. Probably won't. But yeah, plus or minus 15 minutes is good. Maybe even plus or minus 30 minutes. You never know. Anyway, we're off 8 points on the S&P cash. Dow's down 61 or 2. NASDAQ's off 15. Russell's up actually 3, which tells you a little bit. And of course, probably the big news is that crude was off a bit, or still is off a bit, down $1.83. 68.90 is the last tick I see, which is down 2.6%. And I was promised $80 a gallon, $80 a barrel crude yesterday. It was definitely going to $80 by somebody. I can't remember who it was on Financial Infotainment. It was going through the roof. Well, it did just the opposite. And of course, I am skeptical. I'm not cynical, but I'm skeptical because I've lived through peak oil, where I had to live through 1.5 years of people telling me why we were going all Mad Max in the world, that we're going to be killing each other for a cup full of petrol out there in the outback. But it didn't quite go that way. Gold flat, silver basically, I'm going to call it flat. Platinum flat. Copper, probably the most interesting. It's down 0.5%. So you can make what you can of that, but a whole lot of nothing is what I'm going to say, and a whole lot of fear in this market. Anyway, we're off in 8-10 points out here. And again, probably the most interesting thing to me is that is the crude numbers. And when we look at volume in the market, it's kind of ticked up a little bit more than the last 3 or 4 days. 3.8 billion shares on the CBOE volume so far today. Okay, what else do we have? Going through this. I got a question about, what was this? Oh, a Roku. As far as I'm concerned, Roku equals GoPro. There's literally no difference in exactly what these guys were selling at the beginning and what they'll be selling at the end. I could be wrong. I am occasionally, but Roku for me is one of these highly shorted stocks, just like GoPro. It takes forever to go lower, but once eventually the wheels fall off the wagon. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's west of the Rockies. East of the Rockies, 877-927-6648. And, of course, you can email me at path@tfnn.com. Did Monday options trade signal anything different? Actually, no. We're still kind of sitting exactly where we were before, and there's just not a lot to tell us anything differently than what we're looking at. In fact, let me see if I can't bring that up real quick. So that would be yesterday. And let's go to the SPYs, and we'll hit this, and then we'll go to history, and then we'll get back, and maybe we'll see the president show up by then. No, we're basically somewhere, basically saying that we could get, 20, 40 points higher, something like that. I'm thinking that we're basically looking at the high end at somewhere around 270 on the SPYs. So not a whole lot different. Now, if you look at this, it'll say something like it's pretty close to 266 on the SPYs, but you always want to add somewhere between 20 when there aren't many shorts and 40 when there are a lot of shorts to that number. It's constantly at least on the SPYs, a bit lower. And that's probably because of the futures and the intense futures and puts, and the puts in the SPYs themselves. They tend to run a bit lean, if you wanted to look at that. Anyway, do I have enough time for? Oh, I'm already out of time here. We'll get to history when we come back. President's speaking now. We'll find out what he has to say during the break. When we come back, it'll be a brand new market without any negative waves to speak of. But we'll keep an eye on this so far. Not a lot of movement, and I'll be surprised at the end of the day if we do get some. I think this may be the non-event of the day, but you never know. Maybe you'll say something different. But that's it. Oh, there's the music. I was waiting for it. I was doing a little dance. Got lots of charts to look at, got lots of action, maybe not. But my stocks are doing very well today. Thank you. So I'm very happy. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Finally, the deal does nothing to constrain Iran's destabilizing activities, including its support for terrorism. Since the agreement, Iran's bloody ambitions have brought...
Well, sorry, I was busy listening to that, see if there was any nugget of that we could hang our hat on here during the break, but there was nothing from the president. We're off 8.5 points on the S&P cash. So we'll have to wait maybe by the next break, maybe something else is going to go on. Let's talk a little bit of history, and then we'll get into some charts.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating. On this day in 1988, the first person is found guilty of violating the Federal Anti-Tampering Act, putting cyanide in Excedrin capsules in an effort to kill her husband. This actually goes back to the law that came out of the 1982 Chicago Tylenol murders, where a series of poisoning deaths resulted from drug tampering in the Chicago metropolitan area in 1982. The victims had all taken Tylenol-branded capsules and had been laced with potassium cyanide. Of course, no arrests ever in this. One guy from New York sent a letter trying to blackmail Johnson & Johnson over this, but he was in New York. These all happened in Chicago. Everybody pretty much in the company knows that this happened somewhere along the trail in the distribution cycle and not at the headquarters where they were made. So no one ever really figured it all out. But on this day, the first conviction on a new law on this. Now, this lady was quite the piece of work. She left a trail 2 miles wide and 10 miles long about her pretty much deciding she was going to kill her husband before she ever got married for the, of course, life insurance money. But that was it on this day in 1988. So we'll keep an eye out on here. S&P still hovering around 8. Maybe we get that literally nothing going on. Of course, the biggest news other than what's going on TV right now has to be the federal government taking in a record tax haul in April en route to its biggest ever monthly budget surplus. The CBO said that in a surging economy left Americans with more money in their paychecks and this more to pay to Uncle Sam. All told, the government collected $515 billion, spent $297 billion for a total monthly surplus of $218 billion. And I was told America was going to hell in a handbasket. I know that's going to be a trigger warning for some. It swamped the previous monthly record of $190 billion set in 2001. CBO analysts were surprised by the surplus, which some $40 billion more than they guessed at less than a month ago. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, and we'll get into some charts here. Give me a call at 877-927-6664. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have? I want to look at a handful of these stocks. I want to keep an eye out in case anything does go that. But I think everybody kind of knew what was going on. Tesla just going sideways out here. A question from John asking whether or not my prediction of 320 or 340 stands. What I'm going to tell you is that I don't think you can safely short it until you get a lot of shorts out of Tesla. And that is the problem, is you don't want to be in a stock that has monstrous shorts. I'm actually in one that is massively outperforming the market today in the long-term newsletter, the Tech Insider, and that's because it's got 22 days to cover on the short side. So what you have to look at in these is you can't get short a stock that has 30 or 40% short interest. Tesla, perpetually that. The only way you're going to get that 30 or 40% short interest off of a stock is to squeeze them out of it. And of course, that's the problem. If you're a big fund, hedge fund, you got lots of other people's money and it's not yours, and then you can take a flyer. But if it's your money, I don't think you can take that chance. So I think that's for John. Got hold of Roku. I want to look at a handful of other stocks and how they're doing today as we go through it. And we're off 4.5 points on the S&P cash. So market maybe not taking it as bad as a lot of people. Henny Penny thought it would. Allergen, was looking at this one. It's not looking too bad, but at the same time, real no sign of a bottom just yet. These biotechs continue to act really weak, but they don't have a lot of juice on the downside either. On Allergen, it's 142.81. We haven't tested that low, but that was on 8.4 million shares. We're into this with 2.4 million shares so far. Now, you did start this with a 5.7 million share down day, kind of a reversal off 166. But you know what? When you find these lows out here and the volume all shrinks up, maybe there's something out here. Just haven't seen it quite yet. Box, I know a lot of people were talking about either shorting this or going long this. One thing that you do have is it is breaking out with very little, if any, volume. We got 5 million shares yesterday and just kind of eked out a pop above this 24.50 area. Today, 4 million shares. So you're above it. But I'm not going to say, I mean, you had your big day back here on the 23rd. I wouldn't short it just because it's a stock under 30 bucks. And that's one of my rules. But there's not a lot of juice enough in this, but I continue to think short of a buyout box is not worth that much. So that's kind of what you're betting on. Another drug maker, Celadon, CGI, kind of interesting out here. Into its low of February 28th, $3.55 with 650,000 shares. Got into it with less than half of that yesterday, 286,000 shares. We've got about that same today. So that's kind of an interesting stock out there. I think we talked about Depot Mid yesterday. Wanted to look at this one a little bit more. Again, into this February 9th low, which is 601 with 1.75 million shares. Got into it with 1 million shares. Yesterday, 990,000 shares. Today, it looks like you're probably going to have just a little bit more volume at it, but it may take a few more days. In fact, tomorrow we've got options going delta neutral for expiration. It's going to tell us a lot. And I'll have a lot more to say on Thursday about that. Of course, my webinar coming up next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. All my subscribers, which you can be one too. Check out the front page of TFNN.com.
Are you an options trader that's looking for that extra edge when placing trades? David White will be hosting a webinar on May 16th, which is the Wednesday leading up to options expiration Friday in May, where he'll discuss in depth the methodology he uses for trading options near expiration, including swing trading setups and expiration day trading scenarios. Subscribers to each of Dave's newsletters, Path of Least Resistance and the Technology Insider, gain access to this 60-minute webinar, which will be archived if you cannot attend live. Dave has had some great option trades recently for his subscribers. See for yourself the trading methodology he uses when trading options by signing up today for either of his newsletters, and we'll see you Wednesday, May 16th at 5 p.m. for option trading near expiration, analyzing swing trades and expiration day scenarios. For all the details and to sign up today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life.
Yeah, I think too many negative waves out there. We're off 7.5 points on the S&P cash. As many in the den are now saying the end of the world has been postponed till tomorrow. And of course, as one wise sage once told me, you never bet on the end of the world because guess what? It's only going to happen once, and the other side will not be there to pay off. So it doesn't do you any good anyway. Depot Med, we were looking at this one when we left. You can still have plenty of time to give me a call at 877-927-6648 west of the Rockies. Anyway, looking pretty good. I wanted to look at some other ones out here and see how they were doing. Let's look at Splunk. Splunk's making a high out here today. You needed 2.3 million shares. You got 1 million shares so far. So there are a handful of these stocks that are starting to act a little bit weak that have had fairly big runs. You know what? Right now, there's not that much. Maybe back to 95 bucks on this one if it doesn't get enough volume. What you would like to see this thing probably do is hang out up for a few days or even go up lighter. I continue to think that we're going to at least run till options expiration, and I'm going to say still 70-75% thinking that we're going to make it to Memorial Day before any kind of downturn in the market. Not that I'm expecting a rapid and rampant higher price in the market. I think 27.50 might be it by Memorial Day, and we're just going to be a lot of moving in and out of different things, everybody looking for a faster horse, and maybe by that time we'll see if anything happens. Okay, what else do we have? Wynn Resorts. I'm starting to see a few of these stocks line up as shorts, but I think they're too few right now. I do like the setup on Wynn, but again, I don't like the market at this level. As I said, going into options expiration, you got a fairly decent bias to the upside. That starts tomorrow. Is there just going to be a lot for you to do for the next week, 2 weeks, if you want to be short? The answer is no. I don't think so anyway. That's my opinion. You're into this huge down day of the 26th of January. That was down 22 million shares with Wynn. Got into it with 9.4 million shares on March 9th. You got back into it kind of through the 24th of April, pulled back a little bit. You're up now with about 4 million shares. So you're kind of hanging out just below those highs. And the question is, can you go back and test this 203.63 from January 25th? And I think you can. Again, everybody piling in on one side, never a good solution. Once you make your money, just get out of the short. Go look somewhere else. Generally, a lot of, there are times like 2000 or 2008 when you can bank on companies going out of business almost, within the next 3 or 6 months. But pretty accommodative market for the Fed still. And if anything really started to turn south, they'd be back in a heartbeat. So I don't think you can bet on the end of the world here on very many of those stocks. I do like the setup on that one. Another one out here that looks very interesting, but a little probably premature, as many of these are. 48.40 on Yelp. That was the November 27th high. 48.40 with 5 million shares. You got into it with 1 million share on March 2nd. You're getting into it with about a little bit more this time. But again, I think that these stocks going into the end of May can drift up on lighter volume and lighter volume and lighter volume. I just keep seeing a lot of stocks that have way too many shorts in them, and I don't know if there's anything else you can do but let those shorts get squeezed before any chance of the next leg down occurs. Okay. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft's got its Build conference going on. Not a lot of news out here other than a lot of new, easier ways to use their technology. I think we've talked about it before on this show, or certainly with Tom O'Brien on Fridays on our Tech Insider, that Alexa is driven by Microsoft's voice technology. And Microsoft is really bundled this together with their cloud services stuff. And I looked through it last night. They've got a lot of neat ways, if you're going to do this stuff, to do it very easily and fairly inexpensively. And that's basically what cloud is. You sell the cloud services, just the back part of it, for not a whole lot. But then you make a lot of money by tying it together with it. And of course, Microsoft's version of Alexa is called Cortana. They are basically the exact same product, but Amazon made a hardware product, and it's been tremendously successful using Microsoft's $3.5 billion worth of investment in software for understanding voice commands and the like. Just going sideways out here today. Really looking at this hard after options tomorrow, but my guess is that those options are going to move this thing up, and we're going to see it close and hit something like 100 or 101 by a week from Friday. Don't think that there's much else to say in that. NFLX, let's look at a few of the other high flyers and see what they're doing. Okay. So Netflix looks like it could be an ABC on the way up. The energy isn't all that exciting, though, on this last leg. In fact, it's a little light, but still think you're going to test 338.82. I was looking for this to go sideways, and I think we had a question whether it tested that this week or next week. I thought maybe next week. It's actually holding in a little bit better than I thought it would so far today. So you might get that by Friday, the 338.82. My guess, though, is tomorrow, if we're going to have a down day of any significance, it will come tomorrow. And they'll try to sell as many puts and get as many people short as they can tomorrow. And then we're going to see the inevitable slight push higher all the way through options expiration. And, you know, that gets us to 2,700, 2,720, 2,740 or something by Memorial Weekend. And you just go up on light volume, then you have to do it. But I think abundance of caution is what's going on here. Got a question coming in about what I think on oil. I think today was the first little dip. What you would like to see is a second round of selling coming in on the EIA numbers tomorrow to confirm it. But that's it. You had kind of a push down today. I figure everybody's still very bullish. Maybe another attempt to push it up tomorrow into the EIA numbers, and then, well, yeah, I think we're going to have to look at it then. But I think we're still a little early in pulling the short oil.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
I'll have to see my broker, find out what he can do, 'cause I'm in the market for you. There won't be any joker with margin, I'm all through, 'cause I want you outright, it's true. You're going up, up, up in my estimation. I want 1,000 shares of your caresses too. We'll count the hugs and kisses when dividends are due, 'cause I'm in the market for you.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to do something like that. But anyway, just looking at a few stocks out here and trying to catch up in a fast-moving market. We're off 15 points on the S&P cash, but still no end of the world. Facebook now up against very, very tough resistance. Back to the March 19th gap down, 87 million shares down. Yesterday you had 18.3 million shares. Today just 10 million shares back into this gap. And that's kind of it. Now, no signals out here that this thing's going to fall apart. My guess is it could probably hang around in this and go sideways. And again, not uncommon before quantitative easing to see this kind of action going into Memorial Day weekend. So I'm going to say that, you know what? I'm going to be sitting on my hand, at least what I'm doing. I'm going to be sitting on my hands as long as I can stand it. To, one, both be long with the positions I have, and two, have an opportunity to wait for the big fat pitch down the center. What else? We looked at Facebook here. That's about the same. Let's see if I got any more emails. Okay. Do we look at anything else? I wanted to look at a handful of other things. In fact, I had a few of them. Got a question about looking at PPLT. Is it still the best looking of the metals? And you know, you kind of had your pop down there. You've got your pop into the first gap. I'm going to say still you've got this high volume day right here, and that's about 86 bucks. So, yeah, could it pull back to 86 bucks? It could. If you had very light volume, that looks to me like that might be a fairly interesting line in the sand to draw. This is the Platinum ETF. This thing has always looked like the best of the precious metals, at least for me, in the charts. There may be other fundamental reasons that make anything else change, but this one's always looked the best to me, at least in the last 2-3 weeks. I don't see anything that changes it. But again, not a lot of movement in any of these that we've looked at. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. Okay, question about Avago, A-V-G-O. We'll look at that one. Of course, nice bounce. Still not that exciting of a move for this stock, 10 bucks on a $225 stock, but better than it has been doing. You probably are looking for one more retest around the 225 area. You pierced that 225 area to 221 on May 1st. Did the reversal. You're back up in here. But again, not a lot of juice. You want to see this thing come down, probably with even lighter volume in the next couple of days, maybe 4 or 3 million shares to make a decent looking low. What I don't like about it is the energy on the way up from April 2nd to April 17th and then back down to May 4th was basically the same. So there's generally, you know, you want to see that last leg come back down with lighter volume. If it's not, a lot of times it's just building energy and you're not really ready for the big move on it. See if we had any other stocks out here that a lot of people were asking about. Do I think there's anything going on with DLR? This thing's really just been kind of hanging out in this trading range since mid-March and hasn't given me a good signal. Tried to break out with a huge day on the 27th of April. Just came right back into the trading range today. It's down 1.3 million shares. This is Digital Realty Trust. It's a REIT for San Francisco, or at least I think it's a REIT for San Francisco and Silicon Valley in general. Generally, the worst and weakest of all downturns in markets are felt by the REITs because they're backed by bonds, and no one wants to buy real estate in a down market, much less the bonds to go into real estate on a down market. I wanted to look at VNQ. This thing had been kind of pushing back higher, was able to get above the March 16th high. This is the Vanguard REIT ETF, and started the move down in January and preceded it, showed the weakness in the markets, or at least that they thought would be in the market, and was the worst of all of them, and I think including the semis on the move lower. You came down with 7.6 million shares. You broke it on the 4th with 3.7 million shares yesterday, 4 million shares today, 3 million shares. So, you know, you've had some days that got close with some decent volume, but when we really went to break it on the 4th, no juice there. A little pullback. This could, you know, closed below 76.66. Kind of says that we're still in a trading range in this market and not to get too excited one way or the other. Let's see what else we have out here. Someone wants me to look at the airlines, so we'll do that. Yeah, are the airlines going to start running before if fuel prices start heading lower? I think we got the first little taste. So let's go ahead and look at a few of these airlines and see if they're saying that crude is made some kind of high and we're going to turn around. Got a little hammer today in American Airlines. That's why I'm thinking, you've done nothing but go sideways since the 26th of April. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days of going sideways, basically, in this lower $42 range. Is that set up a low? Well, I don't know. Let's take a look at a few other of its brethren. DAL. Okay, so you had a pretty good test of Delta's April 2nd low at $50.95. 10.2 million shares, got into it with 7 million shares on May 3rd. Got a little hammer out here too. Energy was ever so slightly lighter coming off this April 18th high. I don't see anything that says there's big money. Let's take a look at Jet. Love to come back. You may help. That'll wrap up the show. Give me an email at TFNN.com or 877-927-664.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Are you an options trader that's looking for that extra edge when placing trades? David White will be hosting a webinar on May 16th, which is the Wednesday leading up to Options Expiration Friday in May, where he'll discuss in depth the methodology he uses for trading options near expiration, including swing trading setups and expiration day trading scenarios. Subscribers to each of Dave's newsletters, Path of Least Resistance and the Technology Insider, gain access to this 60-minute webinar, which will be archived if you cannot attend live. Dave has had some great option trades recently for his subscribers. See for yourself the trading methodology he uses when trading options by signing up today for either of his newsletters, and we'll see you Wednesday, May 16th at 5 p.m. for option trading near expiration, analyzing swing trades and expiration day scenarios. For all the details and to sign up today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Okay, I'm going to look at a few more out here. I think we're close. I think we could be very close to a high in crude, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, you got 7, 8, 9, 10 days in most of these airline stocks. These things are wound up. Now, maybe we go higher and they crack. But I was going to say, you don't have a lot of volume out here. It's not like someone's pounding on these with a lot of juice. This is UAL out here going sideways. And, you know, if you're going sideways, one of two things will happen. Either you're getting accumulation or you're getting a distribution. If volume picks up, it's distribution. If volume remains light, then generally you've got accumulation. Someone down there that has a bid just a little bit under what you're doing. Let's see what else we have. I think Love looked the worst of these bunch out here. This doesn't really look, it's got a little bit of consolidation, but it could go back down to 51 bucks. And as it was, JetBlue. Again, just kind of sideways out here, but these things are winding up for some amount of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days sideways. So yeah, we got something now. Maybe it's higher on crude or lower at crude, but I think you're going to see it probably in advance of the crude movement. Probably going to see these things lead, as 80% of all the money in airlines goes to fuel. You can catch my webinar a week from tomorrow night. Go to the front page of TFNN and check that out. It'll be about trading options, both near term, i.e. the last few days of expiration, and in a longer term, and how to find these stocks that have inevitable advances and declines, and how to reduce your risk, not add more, by using options. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to, and we will see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.